All right, we are live. We're up. We're happy.
We're up?
Yeah.
All right. Let's say,
Hey, everyone.
everybody just, yeah, there we go. I see we're live now. Thanks, Tony. Yeah, just like everybody to share the show. You're going to want to see this one. This one is awesome. Jordan Brady, commercial director. We're going to look at some of his work. And this guy, I don't know if he's wrote the book, but he certainly wrote the course on being a, that's it. That's it. He's showing me that right now. He's showing me his book. I'm going to have him bring it out later. But, you know, Jordan is somebody who is the most knowledgeable director that I know. He's had, you know, not to date him now, but he's had years and years of experience. He's done such great campaigns. And, you know, when you're a successful director, you're always busy. There's never a time you are not busy. And Jordan is busy all of the time.
Yep.
He is killing it always. So I'm just going to share the show right now to my site, and then we will just about be ready to get going here. Okay, if I can figure out.
Ugh, this phone, I swear.
I know, I'm having trouble with my phone too.
I'm starting to think maybe we should put it back to 5 minutes, man. 2 minutes doesn't seem like enough anymore.
Maybe. We're not handling 2 minutes too well, are we?
No.
Jeez.
No.
Okay.
All right. Countdown's over, right? Here we go. Into the...
All right. Hey, everybody. How you doing? And really glad to have my guest on today. Burnie's Applebox, of course, Jordan Brady. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you for coming in. Jordan's a commercial director. He's done everything you've seen on TV. I think I can safely say that. And Jordan, welcome, my friend.
It's great to be here. Burnie, thank you. I enjoy the show. You know, I'm a fan. You were on my podcast. So I'm just tickled pink.
Well, thank you so much, my man. I really appreciate it. Here, I'm sorry, Jordan. I'm in the process of trying to share my show to my site, and I think I've just mastered it. After 4 years of live streaming, I've mastered sharing my show. I'm so proud of myself.
Just right on time. Right on time.
Jordan, you know, we met on LinkedIn, really think, but we know so many of the same people and have worked with so many of the same people. It really wasn't until you got a hold of me who I really found out you were. And then I realized after I've been watching these commercials, and I would go to I go, now that's funny. You know, I have a thing about commercials, Jordan, and it is this. They are repeated so often that you get burnout so fast on commercials that I will change literally the channel just not to see the commercial, you know, just not to see that same thing over and over again. And I realized about 3 on my list of commercials that I will watch every time are ones you made.
That's quite flattering, because your opening statement was quite disheartening. That you'll turn the channel on the commercials. You know, in our family, even since TiVo and, you know, all the DVRs now, we taught our kids, no, hey, these commercials pay the bills.
Yeah.
For our clients, for ourselves. And, you know, my kids are now in the industry. So don't change the channel. But I'm flattered that you've seen some of my stuff.
No, dude, I would never change the channel on one of your commercials. I can tell you that unequivocally. But, you know, I think it's an inherent sort of problem, too, in our industry about how we just sell things. I mean, I've always thought it would be so nice to be able to somehow have control of what you wanted to see, because I'm telling you, there are commercials I would watch over and over and would not mind it, you know.
the highest compliment that you can, I think, get as a commercial director is when someone calls and says, "Is that your commercial?" When they know that your tone of voice, your voice as a filmmaker,
Right.
has been seared into the spot. And sometimes it's not mine. I'll be like, "No, but I love that commercial."
Yeah.
And I have directors, one of my favorites is Craig Gillespie, who does a lot of, the comedy that you see. The Pelorian brothers are two gentlemen that do a lot of Geico commercials. And, of course, Lance Accord, who did the famous little kid dressed as Darth Vader.
Oh, I love that.
And like when you see that commercial, you just feel so good and you laugh and you get so when I see other spots like a Subaru commercial or a Toyota commercial that gives me the same feeling, I go, I bet that's Lance Accord. And it is, I'll Google and it's my business to know. So, that's
so cool.
A lot of great storytellers out there.
Yeah. And you know what? That brings up something I never really thought about. Do you guys sort of have, a friendly rivalry? I certainly know a lot of gaffers, DPs, that I quite admire, that are, I guess, quote unquote, competitors of mine. Don't feel that way about them. But do you have like a kind of a tribe that you're back and forth with?
Well, not really. And by guys, you mean men, women, or people that identify?
I mean everybody.
You're very liberal.
I'm sorry.
That
is everybody. a very, that's a colloquialism from my old days. I'm an old guy. I'm 69 years old, almost 70. God. And so, I apologize for that. I reek of old guy. Okay.
You look good. Burnie, you don't look a day over 66.
It's the lighting. Yeah. It's the lighting.
To answer your question, no, there isn't really like a bowling team or a book club for directors, which is why I started my podcast, Respect the Process, on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast, because I had lost a job to a guy that I had bid against a bunch. And I was like, screw him. And then I thought, no, congratulations to him. And reached out, and he was one of the first guests on my podcast. And here we are, like in our 8th year of Respect the Process, specifically to have a place where I can talk to other directors. Because there is there's an annual DGA, there's the screenings on the weekend at the Guild. You'd run into people. And, an annual meeting that you mingle, but not really. And it's funny because Facebook, I think more than LinkedIn, Facebook has become a place where I'm conversing with other directors. I tweeted something, and Rama Mosley is a wonderful commercial director. She's done features, and she called me the next morning saying, I want to help. I had tweeted something about like, we got to get the kids reunited with their families. And it was another director who answered the call because of Facebook, and she was on the podcast and everything. So trying to build a loose knit group of like-minded people. That was a long answer, Burnie. If we're going to get this show going, I got to be quicker with my responses.
No,
got to be a better guest.
Take your time, baby. Take your time. We got an hour to fill. Believe me, it's all you. It's all you. You know what? That is a very good point. I did somewhat of the same in starting Burnie's Applebox. It was to get to spend an hour with someone I wanted to talk to. It was that simple. Sounds like you did the exact same thing there. And I think it is such a good thing, and that is so perceptive of you to bring that to the fore, because I think that one thing in our business is we are all very isolated in what we do, in our methods and stuff. Now, much less so, as you say, after Facebook and being able to, compare notes with people and all that. So, but that is very good. Now, you, and I can honestly say this because get ready with that prop now, you wrote the book on directing, didn't you?
Commercial directing. You're talking about commercial directing voodoo.
That's right. That's right.
Commercial directing voodoo. $10 on Amazon. I also illustrated the book, if you can see the stick figures.
There you go. I love it.
So look at this. This sums up the book right here. Shoot a cutaway. You always want a cutaway of the speaker or whatever. And then the 40 millimeter is the funniest lens. So there's a woman with a bong. Great. And, the 40, there was a wonderful cinematographer by the name of William Fraker, who has since transitioned onto another set. Mm-hmm. And he was 73. I was in my 30s, and we were doing a Miramax movie. And he said, because he was a grumpy old man, like just cantankerous, and I think Panavision made him a special box lens case that was a bar called the Panabar.
Oh, I think I've seen that. Yes.
And he was just such a nice guy, but all grumpy and everything. Yeah. And he said I wanted to take this movie to see if I could, hang out with the young guerrilla filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And I would ask him questions, and he would just say, like, the 40's the funniest lens. It mimics the human eye. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a debate. It was just the 40.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. So I stole that from him. And the book is full of things that I've picked up from either experience or, appropriated from other filmmakers.
That is awesome. I want to get this in too, because you have a course, and believe me, I'll just tell everybody out there, if you can learn from Jordan Brady directly in his course, okay, don't miss the opportunity. And I don't care if you want to be a director or not. If you're a DP, do it. If you're a gaffer, do it. This thing is loaded with gems, and it'll make you a hero on set. You'll know what you're doing. You'll feel more confident. This is a great course.
Oh, that's so kind of you. The book, I love it when a filmmaker will post on Instagram the commercial directing voodoo for $10, and it's in their back pocket or they have it. And I'm going to get to how great the course is, but at the end of the book, there's a place where you can put your notes and some blank pages. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you why I put that in there. Because not only do I want your ideas, I want you to write and scribble in this book and email me and tell me like better ways. I want to learn.
Awesome. But awesome.
The reason I really put the extra 3 blank pages was because if you write a book that's under 100 pages, you can't have the nice spine label. It becomes stapled like a pamphlet. Smart.
Yeah.
So I put in the extra pages so I get this nice, smooth spine label. Look great on your bookshelf.
That's great. I knew you had an ulterior motive to that. There had to be.
Wait, can I tell you one thing?
Please.
I've been doing a live, in-person commercial directing boot camp since 2015.
Okay.
I do it 3 or 4 times a year. And it's down to 15 filmmakers because of COVID. We had to cancel over the summer. But when I had one planned for the spring, COVID shut everything down. My son is a young cinematographer director. He came in the office and I said, we're going to film choice moments of the boot camp and put it in a masterclass online. So commercial directing masterclass is, 2 hours of instruction. God willing, it's entertaining. You can download treatments, and I go through my process, as well as behind the scenes footage of me actually directing national commercials, big name actors, comedy actors, puzzles, solving puzzles of production. And, we made it right here in my office on lockdown. And to date, 467 filmmakers from 9 countries have taken the masterclass, and you get a $100 discount on the boot camp when you complete.
That is incredible. That is incredible. I'll tell you, that is a real testimony. And thank you for doing that. I am very, very big on learning, and people sharing their saying, this is not the old world where, oh no, I don't tell you how I do that. You know what I mean? This is all about being creatives, I think, and and talking about things,
Well,
and
when you were on, and I hope that you can post a link to Respect the Process, the episode that you were on
Sure.
my podcast too, because I think your fans will love it. And we became, brothers from another mother, because
yeah, that's right. Exactly.
We agree that when you give the information out and you're of service helping people, it's not, it can breed your own competition, but that's not the point, right?
Yeah.
The competition is in your head. How can I be creative? So
Right.
I feel that I had enough people help me. I still have people teaching me tricks. And when you give back, it feels good. And somehow I think I get more out of it than the filmmakers I'm teaching. And I got to up my game. Like, I'm constantly looking over my shoulder going, I don't want to settle in to my ways. There's got to be something I'm not getting.
Right.
And so it forces me to learn more.
Right. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn, but because I think this
is your
is
show, Burnie. You can do whatever you want.
Is the best. This is the best compliment anybody can get. You've had some of your former students up against you for commercials, right? And they have
3 times.
3 times. See, I think that is so good when you can say that. That means that you truly are the teacher. You are the master, when you can bring somebody up like that. Go ahead.
No, I was just kind of soaking that up.
You were just bathing
in that one. Well,
okay, that's good.
The other thing about like putting this masterclass online was I needed to stay creative. I needed to just to have something to do during lockdown. And people were making cool spots. I have friends that made spots for small businesses and trying to help out. And I was like, I just need to, I need a project to stay busy.
Yeah.
And then this is going to sound corny, but in a way it was like, so I postponed the boot camp. I just did it in Santa Monica here, 10/10. So the 10th of October, I just did it.
Okay.
And there's another one in LA, January 16th. And they always sell out.
Yeah.
But I knew if I put the material into the masterclass, I would force myself to revamp this 5-year boot camp I'd been doing. Right? Like a comedian shoots a Netflix comedy special and then she throws out the material and has to start fresh.
Yeah.
Or a samurai will fold the steel over into itself to make the sword sharper. So I force myself to come up with new techniques I have to, update for this boot camp. So I got the live boot camp, the online masterclass, and the book is $10 on Amazon. I mean,
there you go. There you go.
Not get the $10 book.
Well, I can only allow you one more 30-second spot in the whole show. I'm sorry, you've just bought the market. You bought the market. So, but listen, I want to get onto it, and this always happens. I start talking about what I'm interested in, listening to my guest, and just meander on from there. But I want to get to the meat. I want to show some commercials, and I want you to give us a run through here on your thoughts, your
absolutely.
thought process and all of that. Because in my mind, the commercial director has to be the best storyteller in the world, right? Because you've got 15, 30 seconds to bring home the point. And that point is essentially, there's a cash register on the other end of it. Somebody's tallying up how well you're telling that story, right?
Sometimes 6 seconds now.
6 seconds.
6-second ad. There's a lot of 6 seconds the last few years.
Wow.
Hey, but, for context, though, here's the 20-second wrap-up of how a commercial director gets a job.
Okay.
You have a sales team that's showing your reel to ad agencies, and the ad agencies come up with the scripts, and it takes a brave client often to, have to go with a crazy idea, especially in comedy. So I look at the commercial director more as a midwife, bringing the spot to life with the agency for the client. Right. It's not like an auteur situation where you're going and pitching your script, we boom down and like you go to the studio and do your big movie. It's a lot more collaborative on that side. And with the crew, it's equally as it's a collaboration to lead the crew. So you're leading the crew and you're servicing this ad agency who, comes up with the gem of the idea. And then you make it, you make it your own. But I don't want people to think, and even guys on the crew will say, "When did you think of this?" And I'll be like, "I didn't think of this. I just made it watchable."
Yeah, yeah. But there's the, all the ingredients in the cake, but the chef makes the cake, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that is the analogy there.
Technically, it would be a dessert chef, but
there's a sous. Yeah, okay. Maybe you're more of a sous
Bernie.
chef. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know what we're going to see. Tony, why don't you bring one up and let's take a look.
All right. So,
Tony, were you making a cappuccino a minute ago? I heard some strange.
No, they were releasing the Kraken next door.
Okay.
That was.
Yeah, that happens during the show. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
When you do your show in a warehouse, that's one of the possible scenarios. Yeah.
So I just feel we'll start with my favorite, the FemiClear commercial.
Oh, they're releasing the Kraken.
There it is. Now
there you go.
All right.
Let's take a look.
Okay.
What's that? I treated my yeast infection in 2 days and with FemiClear. Kills more yeast than Monistat. It's all natural and organic. So instead of chemicals, my hoo-ha is full of joy.
FemiClear. Joie de hoo-ha.
Wow.
One of my favorites.
That's a good one to start with. If I was the gaffer on that, I would have given my crew the speech. Keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
You are not a comedian on this shoot. There's nothing you can say that's going to add to any flavor other than talking about lighting. Keep your mouth shut. Now, that's obviously, I mean, there was creative with that. You as you just specified, what I mean? You are the chef. And tell me about approaching a commercial like that.
Well, it's interesting. It's one of my favorites. It was very successful for the client and for the agency. Christina, I always say her name is so hard. Schweinberg Blake. Oh, Christina Blake. I'll leave out her maiden name.
All right.
She and I had done Hot Pockets commercials back in the 2000s. She started an agency called 31,000 Feet in Texas and called me and said, I have a spot that I think you'd be right for. I think it fits your comedic tone. So that's even a bigger compliment than someone seeing your spot and saying, did you direct that? Is when the owner of the agency says, I have a spot that is your type of humor. And I was just so flattered. And by the way, she's the voice of the singing hoo-ha.
Okay.
And she did it on set as the actors would lift their legs.
Oh.
So I bid on the job. I bid against, there were female directors and which I always support, agencies bidding female filmmakers, women in film, underrepresented populations. But at the end of the day, it came down to the comedy and taste, right?
Right.
So it was going to be a 15-second commercial. And we also had to shoot a little girl as a scientist for another product that the client owned. So everything you saw was a half a day in a yoga studio that we also made look like a kitchen. If you turn the camera, 90 to 180 degrees, we had built a little set. So we had half a day with the kid, half a day with the yoga people. I think there's 2, maybe 3 extras in the whole thing. And it came down to, it's a singing vagina. So we want to make it clear to the viewer that the singing emanates from the private parts.
Right.
So I was very specific with opening with two people side by side and one lifting her leg, and it was important to close the leg. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know this is real inside baseball, but
no, this is. I love it.
Because that would trigger the la 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 la. And Christina doing the singing right next to me helped the actors perform. And then I wanted to get a variety of shots that would allow us to cut to various openings for the hoo-ha to express her joy.
Nice. But brilliantly done. And you gave me a stat before the show. Tell me what the agency wrote a blog or something. Tell me how this did.
Well, the context for how a commercial director gets a job, I gave the agency a lot of credit because Christina and Rachel, the writer, and the team there came up with the idea. But shout out to the client, Femiclear, for being brave enough to go out with Joie de Hoo-Ha and accept the agency's pitch. I'm sure there were 6 other ideas that were equally as charming, but this is the one that cut through the clutter. And on the 31,000-foot the agency's website, they have like a case study you can see, and I think it's like a 32% increase in their audience based on the spot.
Wow.
And we won some awards and whatnot. But again, it's, I tell the young filmmaker that wants to do commercials, especially in comedy, because remember, Burnie, my views on comedy are narrow but correct. That if you get on the phone and pitch a different idea that breaks the concept, you're disrespecting the process. The agency and the client have worked this idea and approved it, sometimes legally vetting every word.
Sure.
For 3 or 4 months, sometimes longer.
Absolutely.
Drug commercials. Oh my gosh. They run them through the ringer. So for you to come on and pitch, like, I don't even know what you would pitch with this, but what you want to do is you want to bend it into your voice and be specific about how you would execute and how you would make it funny, but you want to stay within the guidelines of this concept.
Right. I think that's very important. I think that a lot of people don't understand exactly what it takes to get dialogue on the air. I mean, it goes through legal, it goes through, some social vetting, big social vetting, I'll bet. And I think that's a very good point. You don't just say, well, what about if we do this? I mean, that is, everybody's moving away from you at that point, or it better be the best idea anybody ever had. One of the two.
I actually look at comedy spots through the sports bar test lens. Meaning, will my commercial be funny in a crowded sports bar with even if the sound's up, people are playing pool and talking and the band's playing. And what I love about Femiclear, Joie de Hoo-Ha, is you don't even need to hear the singing. You just see that there's one particular shot where a woman's looking up and she's looking right between the legs of someone else. And you go, something's funny about that commercial.
That's great. All right, we better get moving. We've got to get all through these. So, Tony, what's up next?
What is up next? I actually, and I think I chose this one because the location. I was curious about how you shot around the location on this. The Shark Fest spot with Ryan Lochte, which is very funny as well. But
thank you.
But I kind
of
interested.
A good one.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested how you shot this one. So let's take a look at this one.
Ryan Lochte is the second best-known male swimmer in the world.
Hi.
Sharkfest on Nat Geo Wild is the second best-known shark event on TV.
Okay, great.
Some say second place is the first loser.
What?
There are no points for second place.
Why am I here?
Silvers for suckers.
Hey, I win golds too! I currently hold a world record.
But SharkFest embraces second place with 1 week of first-rate premieres. Besides, number one's a state of mind. Right, Ryan?
No, I'm actually number one sometimes.
Now, Ryan, the reason we're here. Please swim with the sharks.
Excuse me? Okay, that's it. I'm out of here.
SharkFest starts Sunday, July 23rd at 8. Same time as the other week on Nat Geo Wild.
That's great. Were you the chummer?
No, that's my doppelganger. Comedian Wait.
I thought. Yeah, that I thought that may have very well been you. I thought, he pulls a Jordan Brady pulls a Hitchcock on us.
I've done a few, but not lately.
Okay.
So a couple years prior, I had done a Shark Fest commercial with another stand-up comedian, Rory Scovel. And we had, Tony, I didn't shoot the sharks. That footage was provided. Right.
Yeah.
They have a vault full of shark footage. And the first campaign was the Shark Fest had embraced that they were number 2. That Shark Week on Discovery was the winner, and they were embracing it. They're like, we're not even trying to be number 1. We're number 2. We hope you confuse us.
Yeah.
So this was a play off of that campaign. The same year that we did that, Michael Phelps was doing some Discovery Channel promos for Shark Week. So I thought it was ingenious of the in-house creatives at Nat Geo to say, well, we'll get Ryan Lochte, who's like the Robin to Michael Phelps's Batman.
Mm-hmm.
We'll poke fun of him. And what a great sport Ryan Lochte was.
Yeah.
So the original script was Ryan Lochte at the end of a pier or by the beach, throwing chum in the water. I don't even know if there was chum, but they were talking to him along the beach, and the voiceover, he's aware of the voiceover, and he says, I'm out of here, but I guess he would have to swim to get away from the commercial. And it was a little less plausible for him to be stuck and have to run away from the beach than if he were in a little boat.
Yeah.
And just being able to work on a little dinghy is funny.
Yeah.
So I think the team was concerned with the budget, but when I read the script, I have a process where I don't look at it on my phone. I don't look on my computer. I print it so I can scribble, my initial thoughts. So by the time I've read one page of a 30-second script, I've already got doodles and gags and notes that I want to, before I've even finished reading the script.
Mm-hmm.
And this technique, of course, is in my commercial directing masterclass, which you can find online at commercialdirectingmasterclass.com.
That was your last 30-second spot.
That wasn't even 8 seconds. I haven't even got to the hot sauce yet. This is our flagship flavor right here, guys. So.
Oh, there it goes.
$1 to military families, National Military Family Association.
Excellent.
So I pitched the boat, and I pitched the guy chumming, and I want him surrounded by sharks. And they had something about sharks. They thought, like, if he hit him with a paddle or something. But I ended up calling a favor with some Arsenal Creative, a effects shop in Santa Monica that had done all this Toyota work. I said, I just need 3 fins. Mm-hmm. So they went through the footage and they put those shark fins in for the end. But we actually shot him on a boat. And then the medium shots, we were on a barge.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so we did all his dialogue in a medium shot on the barge in San Pedro, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And the chum is plastic fish. It's plastic fish heads stuffed with foam and organic food coloring.
Mm-hmm.
For two main reasons. Number one, if you use real chum, you might attract real sharks.
Wow.
Not safe.
Yeah.
Number two, the seagulls would have adulterated the footage all day if we had real fish.
Yeah.
And so to be environmentally friendly, the art department had a guy on a jet ski with another guy with like a pool cleaning net that you get leaves out of your swimming pool.
Mm-hmm.
And we cleaned up all this plastic, after I think we had enough for 3 takes.
Mm-hmm.
And then we would fill the bucket back up. And one seagull picked up a fish head, took it up about 20 feet and dropped it, and then told all the other seagulls, no, this shit's not real.
That is hilarious.
I think we did the whole thing in about, 6 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? That whole thing?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, that is very brave of them to go in with the number 2 line, but brilliant. You know what I mean? That is, you're not trying to hide anything, and you're actually taking the, I don't know, I guess the number 2 position and making yourself right up front with it. I love that.
And again, that's an idea that comes from, in this case, Nat Geo has an in-house team that I work with on and off for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so wonderful when a client or an agency, when they come back, relationships and repeat business are
absolutely.
It's just a better way to live. I'm going to shoot with my crew for the first time in a year, basically in 2 weeks. And I can't wait to see them. They're my friends.
Yes.
So when the agency brings me back, or like when Christina had me back, after an 8-year absence from our Hot Pocket stage, it's like seeing, old cousins at a family reunion.
Yeah. No, the set always brings people back together, and it is really a reunion in so many cases. All right, Tony, let's get to the next one. What have we got?
Tony. I have no idea what Tony's got.
Yeah.
For the live people. I don't.
Scouring the 200 some odd commercials you have on your Vimeo site. Good grief. Okay. Only because I once had a film teacher who said never work with kids or animals. We'll take a look at the cat math spot.
Yes.
I thought this one was very funny. Yeah. All right, here we go.
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Oh, that was absolutely hilarious. The one that probably everybody has their favorite. The Eraser was mine.
Yeah, that's my fave. The Upside Down Math book is a fave of a lot of people.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Now,
tell me about this.
Yeah, I like the paper airplane only because there's no plausible way that could ever happen with a cat.
Right.
Yeah, no. It's
you
perfect.
buy the Eraser.
Well,
you buy.
Yeah.
I know he's got his paw.
Cat,
He's
the
got his
airplane
paw.
Jordan, it's taken a little too far.
So
Anyway.
tell me about the creative on this one. Where did you intersect it at?
Well, in 2013 or 14, we did the first Scooter the Neutered Cat. And actually, I wasn't going to plug this, but on my website at Commercial Directing Film School, where I have the boot camp and the master class and everything, and the book, I have a $99 class called Directing Cats. That's about the original Scooter the Neutered Cat. I've got the agency brief, the director's treatment, the behind the scenes footage, like 20 minutes of behind the scenes of directing cats, and the patience one must have. It was not this spot, but a preceding campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And because if you can direct cats, you can direct anything.
I'll bet.
It's all about like the A to B movement of the cat and working with the trainers and being zen, being in charge.
Yeah.
And it's so this is a continuation of the Scooter the Neutered Cat campaign. In fact, at the end, Scooter in his sunglasses pops up in front of the chalkboard. That cat is actually no longer with us. He's on set with Bill Fraker. But we shot him green screen 5 years ago, and he keeps popping up.
In perpetuity. Yeah.
Yeah. No residuals on cats.
No, that's probably true. Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you're working with animals like that and their handlers, what is that relationship like? Because, I mean, look, the only thing I have to go off is Tiger King. So, I mean, do there rules for the cats? Are all the handlers different, or not one handler didn't have all those cats, did they? Or was that movie magic?
No. Well, first of all, in the wide shot, there's it looks like a classroom full of cats. We repeat each cat, I think, once or twice in some cases. So it's like I think there's a total of 8 cats. And they did all belong to Bow Wow Productions. Judy and Stephanie I've been working with for years. They are the top professionals. They travel around the globe and they have a menagerie of critters out at their place. And they always take great care of the animals. And you can't, with cats, you just can't have any noise on set. Because if your walkie goes off, if you're the new PA without a headset, and Jordan Brady, every shoot, cats or not, I offer the PAs, you get a headset and get a receipt. I will pay for that headset up to $25. And, one little goes off and the cat looks and the shot's blown. And it can cause hours of time wasted. Yeah. So with that spot, my particular aesthetic is the fake paw, like the eraser bit. Like I like it to look theatrical, not CG. CG would be a different, you could do a CG arm and make it look realistic. That was not the gag. The math book are 2 fake paws on a math book, and all the cats are sitting on a stack of books. Otherwise, they'd be too low in the frame. Mm-hmm. But the real fun was Dave Lengel, the actor, who's in all kinds of commercials. He's in Geico. He's in everything. Mm-hmm. We worked backwards and did each cat and then a green screen, another row of cats, then a green screen. So we made our plate shots full of cats to make the wide shot. We end on the wide shot and then let the cats do whatever. And I say, Judy, just let them roam around. Don't do the clicker. Don't do anything. So one cat jumps off and runs across the teacher's legs. We lock off the camera. We went home. The next day, when we shot the actor, we started with that wide shot. I had a grease pencil on a monitor and showed the actor the playback of the cat going across the line. I mean, these are old school tricks, right?
Yeah.
And just said, watch this line. And then in the wide shot, it looks like he's looking at the cat. And that was all planned. Like we knew if we let the cats do something, if one was to jump from one desk to another, I would have the actor watch that. Because I think it's those little herbs and spices that make it feel, seamless. It's a very simple commercial.
Yeah.
Cutaways, a composite, and a little split screen.
It's brilliant. It's just brilliant, and I love that. I agree with you. CG would not have been the thing. It's that little arm moving that almost, if I dare say, fake moving. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That you just like, that's so satisfying. Quick question before we get to the next one. Of course, almost all insurance commercials are funny commercials because well, yeah, right. You know the answer to that, of course. What else are you going to do? Yeah. But are there any industries, and I suppose maybe this is probably a lot, that will absolutely under no circumstances do a humorous commercial?
Wow. I mean, I would think like cancer PSAs would not be comedy. Yeah. But that's a PSA.
Yeah.
Children's
real industries that, are, automobiles will,
always,
they'll do that. Who's the friendliest to humor in their ads?
Oh, wow. Yeah, other than insurance.
Other
Because
than
across
insurance.
the board,
Yeah.
they're comedy. Take your
Yeah.
mind away from the risk and the bad things that could happen. I would say fast food, a lot of quick service restaurants, they call them QSRs. Fast food restaurants always want to do comedy. They always like pitting one against another. You know, the burger wars, the chicken sandwich wars. Those are funny. Like Coke and Pepsi, those tend to be more sentimental. You know, less comedic. You know, car dealers, a lot of humor in cars.
Yeah.
You know, depending upon the type of car. Like I've done comedy commercials for cars, and I've heard behind the scenes rumbling, you know, when I listen to the client over in the village, that they wonder if this, like a muscle car, really wants humor, or do they just want power?
Yeah.
You know, the minivan, I did a lot of minivan commercials with Catherine Hahn for a couple years, and they're all extremely funny and relatable to people. Like, oh, you know, I'll check out the minivan. The job I'm doing in a couple weeks is with one of the funniest actors, Pat Finn, who has been on anything from Seinfeld to The Middle, all these sitcoms and movies. And he and I have done the same campaign since 2005. It's its 15-year anniversary the week of the 9th. And I'm so happy. And it's balls out funny comedy. And this guy he's a Second City alum, and he just keeps the funny going. And that's what has kept the campaign alive. It's out of Lane Terralever. To my friends, shout out to my friends at Lane Terralever, the creatives. They keep pumping out the scripts that all stick to the same tone of the campaign year after year. So it's almost like the more defined a commercial is, the easier it is to write for it, in my opinion. I mean, sure, there's bad people saying no, but look at Flo from Progressive. She's been on for 15, 20 years. And the agency and the directors, I have a friend that directs some of those, and I'd love to get a piece of that pie.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah. And the cast of characters that they brought to life in those commercials, it's mind-boggling. And now, those, I have to say, they're in my category of I look forward to watching them, no matter how many thousands of times I've seen them. You know, they always make me laugh. I
love Flo. And the redheaded guy.
That guy is so funny. That guy is so funny. And well, I mean, we could go off on that for hours, but let's get to the next one, Tony. Let's get to the next one.
You did some commercials with Pat for Toyota, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a good segue then, because I actually grabbed one of those.
Oh boy.
Yeah. This one I thought was actually kind of funny of the bunch. So let's take a look at this one.
Oh, hey, hon. Sorry, I know I should say this every day, but you are truly beautiful. Just stunning in every possible way.
Are you talking to me or the Camry?
I feel there's a right answer here. I'm trying to read you.
Watch your toes.
Okay.
Feel the love for Toyota Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
Now, I on the tail end of that, I have to ask a question. Beyond Pat, who is insanely funny in almost anything I've seen him in, how important is casting when it comes to commercial work? Because I feel like sometimes these secondary actors, like the wife, who is,
played by Kristen O'Meara.
Yeah.
Kristen O'Meara Abbey.
Who is who isn't playing the stand-up character? I think sometimes the right person can really just drive a line home or a role home, even something that small.
Tony,
how important is casting when you go into these things?
When it's kind of a joke at this point, but when directors write treatments to get a job, we always put a section on casting, and it says, it always starts off, casting is crucial. Well, no shit. We're filming people. Casting is everything. And Kristen, and in fact, Pat Finn echoes the sentiment here that she really makes the turn of believing that she's getting a compliment to, with her eyes, just eye acting, notices that he's really talking about the car. And the actor running his, actually it was one of the creatives who said, could he run his finger on the car? You know, normally I wouldn't expose that wasn't my idea because I love it so much. Oh. But yeah, it's the and the editing, Jeff Gripe, the editor, he would like just when to cut back to her and to pick the performance of her eyes. Like, it's funny because I see that commercial as actually subtle. And Pat and I fall on the broader side. I mean, I've picked up a lily he has gilded and gilded it again. Mm-hmm. But that one's a subtle performance, and Kristen is just doesn't really say much, and their timing was deft. And it's a simple spot. That was one of 3 that we did in a day in the front yard of the house.
Wow.
Because we schedule it, you know, everything at the Tech Scout is planned, and we want the right light for the car. That's the trick with comedy. Like, I got friends that are car directors, and she or he will go out and spend, you know, a day just to get the bumper shot on the running footage or whatever they do. The beauty stuff.
Yeah.
And the performance stuff. With comedy in cars, you got to get performance, but you have to have the car look good.
Yeah.
Or it's going to be, it's going to be crappy.
Yeah. And it's not easy to light a car. I mean, and keep everything
Correct.
in ratio, you know. Yeah, that's incredible. But boy, kudos to both those actors. And Pat, I didn't know who you were talking about until I saw the commercial. That guy is hilarious. Yeah, he is absolutely hilarious, you know.
Mike Svitek was the DP on that, by the way.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome. You know, you shot 3 in that day. So you've got an actors, you as the director, you're totally prepared. You know what you want, because that blows my mind, to just tell you the truth, Jordan. I've been on so many shoots over the years. I've seen it just go to hell in a handbasket. You know what I mean? And other days it's just like, I can't believe we shot all this and it doesn't even seem like we worked, you know. Well, going in there and doing that, 3 of those in a day, that's huge. That just blows my mind. I guess that's all I can say about it, is that it just seems incredible. You got all that, 3 of those in a day.
Well, the trick is to don't board as many shots as you need and put the extra shots in your back pocket. And if there's time, then you get them. And when I storyboard, I try to tell the story in as few frames as possible. So that one is actually, in fact, the better the script, usually the less shots it takes. So that one, there's an opening wide, there's over on her, over on him, and just to break it up, there's a shot looking down the car. So I think the whole thing is like 5 shots at most.
Wow.
The other thing to think about in planning these is, like, that one, I think that's a 30-second version that the agency and I did. Like, we always pick one of the litter and flesh it out to be a 30-second commercial that they air, we put on our reels and all that. Sometimes you'll see a script and it reads in 30 seconds, but you know that there's going to be like a 7-second lease offer at the end of the thing. So it's really being truthful and communicative with the agency before you get to set to go, hey, this is clocking in at 32 seconds and it's really 19 seconds. And the team at the agency, Lane Terralever, they're really good about it. Like, they know to leave room. Matt Seco is one of the creatives, and he knows to leave room for Pat to come up with some ad libs to riff. Right. So there's the scripts are not tight. There's just a little bit of air.
And you take advantage of that. Like, I know there's a right answer here somewhere. right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're getting on time. Let's go to the next one, Tony, and we'll go over a little bit if we got to get all these in because I love them. I love this. This is the most educational show that we've ever done.
This is great. We only have 2 more, and I'm a little reluctant to show the last one because it has copyright music in it. So let's play.
Yeah,
this
Facebook.
one.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. I know they get really twitchy about this stuff. All right, this is the
code.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Jordan. Go ahead.
If you use the code Burnie, and I don't want you to tweet this, but BURNIE Burnie. It's not case sensitive. Just do lowercase. You'll save $50 on commercial directing masterclass. Exclusive discount to anyone watching right now.
Boy, that's the most value my name's ever had right there. I'll tell you that. Yeah, no, without any doubt whatsoever.
What does Tony have in store?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Holiday to Remember. Liked this spot only because I like the play on the commercial that it makes fun of.
It's perfect.
You're perfect.
We're perfect.
Oh, it's everything I ever dreamed of. Oh, a text tag.
I stuck it on there myself.
I love it.
And to think I almost got you a new car.
Oh, honey, nobody does that.
During the Bring a Text Tag Home for the Holidays event, give the gift of always paying the lowest toll rates.
See that? That's real love.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh, I'm glad you
that's
picked that.
Hilarious. Tell us about that.
First of all, there is a bow specialist, a woman who makes giant bows for car dealers and car commercials. Wow. We ship the bow. It's the same bow on the car as it is on the neighbor's car.
Okay.
In the background. And that's a 4-foot piece of fence and some fake snow. We shot that in August in Austin, Texas.
Oh,
not of this year, last year.
Yeah.
And the text tag is like the fast pass, right?
Yeah.
So the script actually from the Sherry Matthews agency, Rich and Matt were the creatives on that. And it just said like a family comes down and I think they wanted the dog and the kids and the whole thing. And just like, guys, we should make it about the couple because the kids and the dog are going to eat up front end time. Mm-hmm. And we got to set up the joke.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was a Lexus shoot, it might have had a little more money. This is for the state, their highway thing. And they were on board. So them exchanging a gift, I think that was the herbs and spices that I added. Like, let's really make it as beautiful. Same DP, by the way. Mike's VTech shot that.
Okay.
We went to Austin. We worked with a lot of Austin people. And it's fake snow outside, but it's not even on the roof. I just had them put a sheet of fake snow on like a 2x6 or a little wider piece of plywood, put it on a C-stand, and angle it the shape of the roof, like in camera forced perspective, and then we paint out the C-stand. So the snow, because the art department doesn't have time to go up and put fake snow on the roof, right?
Yeah.
And you can grab a plate shot. Now the compromise is, it's locked off. I might normally would like to dolly and have the parallax around the car, but it for the sake of ease of post, you got to help our post brothers and sisters out.
Sure,
we lock it off. Even the boom mic, like David Fincher style, put the boom in there, paint it out later.
That is so incredible. That is so incredible. Yeah, that is excellent. Tony, we're getting on to it. Let's do this last one. I'm just going to give the warning. If Facebook kicks us out and cuts the stream because of copyrighted music, that'll be their first indicator the show is over.
Yes, show's done.
Well, then, let me say now, thanks for having me. This has been a wonderful opportunity.
And please, before we go into this, one more pitch from the master himself. Come on, let's hear it. Give us the whole shebang.
If you really like it, our ghost pepper, oh so delicious hot sauce, it's great. It's like a bee sting and it's addictive. You want to go back for more, but it's not super hot like that show Hot Ones. We're about serving the flavor seeker. So if you get the Flavor Seeker Fun Pack, you get all 3 flavors. And we give $1 per bottle to National Military Family Association. The book is like film school for $10.
Yep.
Drawings, and you know, you get that. And then the master classes, commercial directing, masterclass.com, commercial directing boot camp will sell out. So I put all my stuff at Commercial Directing Film School, so you have one link to remember. Perfect. And I really do like helping people. The one thing I'll say about the master class, all jokes aside, all pitching aside, during COVID, I said, oh, look at that right there. I said, I'll do a free filmmaker consultation, 20-minute call for people that have completed the course. Mm-hmm. And I've been consulting with, agencies and other filmmakers for about 5 years. And it's quite expensive. I'm like a modestly priced Beverly Hills lawyer.
Yeah.
Hourly,
wow.
Right?
That's a lot of money.
So I give these 20-minute consultations, and I was only going to do it through the end of April because I was wrong about COVID like I was about Trump. I was like, it'll never happen.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, in talking to the filmmakers with the free consultation call after masterclass, 2 have gotten signed with production companies. Wow. 1 has gone back to his client and gotten more money and more spots because we talked about setting up like a subscription model for a local client, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One guy I talked out of coming to boot camp because he's already got his own business rolling. Like, you don't need me. Mm-hmm. And people are doing better work. And I can't tell you how wonderful it feels, like a palpable joy to hear people's successes. So I've continued these calls.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, if we can talk at 9 a.m, or we can talk at 7 p.m, or if I'm not shooting, we schedule it, and it seems to help people. And again, the big trick, I learned from them.
Wow. Well, you are the master, Jordan. I'm telling you, if you want to know the real stuff, go to Jordan. Put that connect.
Hot sauce?
Yeah.
Oh no,
no. Sorry, Jordan. Yeah. Put that up there and really get with jordanbrady.com and get on it, because this is the real deal. It's thank you. And you go to film school for that $10 book right there. So that's it. All right. Let's get to this last one. Then we'll come back and I'll just say a quick goodbye if we're still on the air.
All right. Here we go.
What's this one going to be?
I got to figure out which one it is. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Nice moves.
Oh, hey! Hi, just stretching out. Groceries.
Brilliant. You know what? I actually remember when I saw it, I remember laughing at that one. I can't remember what year was that? When was that up?
Let's say that came out in 2018 or 19.
Okay. Brilliant.
We shot it in 18. One of 3 in a day.
Wow.
Michael Svitek again was the DP. Chuck Links was the gaffer. David C. Weldon did some operating as a second camera. He's now a big DP working with Joseph Kahn doing Lexus commercials in last year. And just my team had it all buttoned up. my friend Chuck Meehan is like a creative director extraordinaire, and he said, we were going to spoof Whitesnake, but they wanted like $1 million for that song or whatever.
Oh,
so
God.
They got that song, and if in the book, get a cutaway. It's funnier when you cut to the people watching. And cut back, like that's Chaplin shit right there. That's not anything new. And Catherine Hahn, we planned to slide off the hood. We had a pad down there. The first edit, the editor jump cut her back up real quick. And it's funny because my friend Chuck called me and I go, don't even say it. I know what you're going to say. They jump cut her back up. It's got to linger. It's got to have the tension of her falling and let her pop back into frame.
Yeah. No, that absolutely brilliant, my friend. Absolutely brilliant. Great stuff. Jordan, I cannot thank you enough for coming on and spending your time with us today. This is truly the best filmmaking hour we have ever done on this show.
That doesn't say much about the show, Bernie.
No, it says nothing about the show. But no, really, I really appreciate your time and your energy, and you're so funny. You're such a great guy.
You're
that
too
I
kind.
just
Thank
it's
you.
so open for everybody. Get on it if you're a serious filmmaker, and I don't care if you want to be a director or not. If you're a DP, if you're an editor, go visit Jordan's course, and you will learn something for sure. Thank you, buddy.
See ya. Yeah, hit me up with any questions, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody. That's it. Bernie's Applebox. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.